what prompted you to take this particular decision of upskill yourself? Obviously, one reason might be, the one of the reason might be the salary, and what could be the other reason of upskilling yourself?
See,
So I just
DevOps is
wanted to
very
know the
interesting.
reason.
DevOps is very
Wow.
interesting.
Okay.
uh, I'm telling you from my personal experience. Whenever
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Career Catalyst, the podcast where we dive deep into the journeys and insights of IT professionals who are shaping the future of technology. Today, we are thrilled to have an exceptional guest with us, someone who is an expert in the world of Kubernetes and DevOps. Our guest today is certified expert with hands-on skills across Kubernetes and a wide range of DevOps tools. He holds multiple certifications and has expertise in tools like Docker, Terraform, Jenkins, and Ansible. He holds multiple certifications, as I told you, from managing cloud native environments to streamlining complex infrastructure. He's truly at the forefront of modern DevOps. In this episode, we will be exploring the journey, the advice for aspiring DevOps professionals, and their vision for the future of Kubernetes and cloud native technology. So, without further ado, let's welcome him to the show. Welcome, Sony. We are excited to have you here today.
Hi, Kritika. Thanks for this
Hello.
brief introduction.
No worries. Okay, Sony. Let's start from the beginning. Like, could you start by sharing a bit about your educational background and what initially led you to, be into the IT field?
Of course, my journey started with a love for computers that began back in my school days. Okay. I completed my degree in computer science, but my fascination with technology started long before that. I was always drawn to computer and loved working on them so much so that I knew from an early age that I wanted to pursue a career in this field if I had the chance. Later on, as smartphones becomes more advanced and Android was introduced, I was I found myself experimenting a lot on my own device. Okay. I would root them, install custom firmwares, and try out new configurations just to see how things work behind the scenes. These experiences really deepened my interest in programming and pushed me to dive deeper into the IT world.
Yes, that's great, Sony. I mean, like, what if I ask you, like, what all certifications do you hold in your IT career and how they have contributed to your skill set? Could you just elaborate that?
Absolutely. Like I have earned all three Kubernetes certifications, that is CKA, CKD, and CKS, which have been crucial in developing my skills on cloud and DevOps side. I also hold foundational certificates in Python, SRE, which is Site Reliability Engineering, and Azure Cloud. Each of these has really helped me a lot in my career. I actually started as a Java developer, but as automation and CI/CD practices began gaining traction, I felt drawn to explore these areas. I wanted to push myself outside of my comfort zone and gain practical knowledge on cloud and DevOps to stay updated and grow in this fast-paced field.
Okay. I mean, like, since you mentioned, like, you have achieved certifications, like, as you mentioned, CK, CKD, and CKS. So,
Mm-hmm.
and gained expertise in various DevOps tools as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what inspired you to pursue these certifications only, and like how they have benefited in your career?
Okay, so my inspiration came from a desire to keep up with the evolving tech landscape. Okay, Kubernetes and DevOps were rapidly becoming essential in cloud and IT infrastructure, and I wanted to be at the forefront of the shift. Pursuing certification like CKA, CKD, CKS gave me not only the technical expertise but also the structured approach to mastering these tools. Okay, these certifications have significantly boosted my career. They have opened doors to me to more advanced projects and roles where I can work on complex cloud infrastructure, CI/CD pipelines, and automation tasks. Okay. The skills I gained from them help me transition from a developer role to a more specialized DevOps position. Like in short, like they have given me both credibility in the industry and confidence in my own ability to tackle challenging projects.
Okay. All right, Sony, the ones who have just started out in this industry, can you just
Mm-hmm.
brief about what is CKA, CKS, and CKS? Because as a layman, I don't understand if I would be a layman, right? What is
Mm-hmm.
these certifications all about?
Okay. So basically, like CKA stands for like Kubernetes Certified Kubernetes Administrator. CKAD is
Okay.
Certified Kubernetes Application Developer, and CKS is Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. Okay. So like let me tell you a brief about first Kubernetes. Okay. So once we have got the basic downs, dive into containerization. Kubernetes is basically it is an orchestration tool to run your complex applications. Okay, and these three certifications make sure that you have that much of knowledge so that you can handle those complex applications. So if I talk about CKA, which the name itself suggests, that Certified Kubernetes Administrator. Okay, in which you can create your own clusters, know how these clusters work, how the workloads are communicating with each other, how you can deploy your applications on a cluster, what are the basic objects, how we can play with them, and how you can deploy your application and get it to the outside world. Okay, so it is all about the administration thing and managing of everything. CKAD
Oh,
is more towards the application development side. Okay, like as of now, we don't have monolithic applications. We mostly follow the microservices architecture. Okay, where we have small microservices for each component. So how to deploy these microservices components, how to make sure that okay, only these can communicate with each other, and how to make sure your application is always up and running, how to deploy them properly. Okay, these all come under the application development side. Okay, and
absolutely.
the last one is the security specialist. Okay, so as the name suggests, security. Since we are growing in technology field, security is the main concern for us, because the attacks day by day are increasing. Okay, we are getting so many news that okay, this website is hacked. Okay, and we got these attacks on some specific website, something like that. So we should know that how to secure our website, or how to secure our workloads which are actually running into your Kubernetes application. Okay,
Absolutely.
because everything is deployed on your cluster and you have to manage it.
Agree. I
Yeah.
agree with you, Sony. I mean, and like since you have mentioned, you have beautifully explained all these certifications. I hope like the viewers got the clarity on it now. And can could you just suggest a roadmap, for the aspiring DevOps professionals so that they can build a strong foundation out of it, particularly in Kubernetes? And are
Mhm.
there specific certifications or maybe the skills that are the most valuable for this particular domain?
Absolutely. Like building a strong foundation in DevOps and Kubernetes is all about layering skills and gaining practical experience. Okay. So how you can roadmap your thing is like start with the basic learn, which is like Linux fundamentals, and become comfortable with shell scripting and other core skills in DevOps. Because from there, understanding version control with Git, learning a programming language like Python can be a great next step, because Python is widely used in automation and infrastructure management. Once you got the basic down, deep into the containerization, master Docker first, because it's an essential to understand how Kubernetes manage containers. See, Kubernetes is just managing your container. It's an orchestration tool. So first you should know what is Docker, what is container. Okay, so from there, after Docker, like start learning Kubernetes itself by setting up cluster, deploying simple applications. Okay, and you can do some hands-on on your machines. There are some tools which can help you with this. In terms of certifications, I would recommend starting with Kubernetes Certified Administrator first. because this is how you should know how your cluster is actually deployed. Okay, until unless you know how your cluster is deployed, you won't be able to know, okay, how your application is working. Then design your own cluster. Okay, from there the CKAD is great for learning how to deploy and manage your own Kubernetes application. Okay, and then go for CKS. This is how you should manage your certification things. And beyond Kubernetes, learning infrastructure as a code like Terraform and familiarizing yourself with CI/CD tools like Jenkins. Nowadays we are using GitLab pipelines as well. Will round out your skills and make you well-rounded DevOps professional. So
Okay, great, Sony. And just one more thing, many of our viewers are interested in becoming DevOps specialists or maybe
mhm,
the Kubernetes experts. So,
mhm.
could you share what entry level roles look like in this field? I mean, what typical responsibilities, they include?
Okay. So entry level roles in DevOps or Kubernetes often include titles like DevOps engineer or junior cloud engineer or SRE. Okay. So in these positions, you will typically support infrastructure automation, help manage cloud resources, or work with some CI/CD pipeline. Okay. A lot of your day-to-day work might involve configuring some servers, monitoring system health, or ensuring that applications are deployed smoothly and securely. Okay, so this should be for entry level when you get some designation like DevOps engineer or junior cloud engineer. When it comes to Kubernetes specialist, so entry level responsibilities will include like setting up cluster, managing your containerized application, and troubleshooting deployment issues, like what all workloads you are deploying on your cluster. If there is some issue, then start troubleshooting it, because theoretical knowledge will not work here. You have to practically deep dive into it and check what exactly like you are facing. So you will learn how to work with essential tools like Docker, Helm, and Terraform, which are fundamental in DevOps. These roles are hands-on and provide great exposure to cloud services, automation, and the collaborative culture that DevOps is known for. So the good thing is this DevOps and Kubernetes is completely hands-on. You cannot gain expertise in it only by reading documentation or following some website, something. Okay. It is completely hands-on thing.
Actually, I was about to ask you, would you recommend a newcomer to get started with Kubernetes, especially those without, without a much prior experience in containerization or maybe the
Hmm.
infrastructure?
Okay. So in that case, like if you are a fresher or a newcomer, okay. So the first and foremost thing is get your hands dirty on Linux, because most of the automation tools are built on that platform. Okay. So you should know how basic Linux work. Okay. Then there are uh, learn about the containerization approach. Earlier we used to follow the virtual machine kind of thing. Okay, that you want to create a separate environment, you can create you have an infrastructure, you have servers, create a virtual machine out of it, get your things deployed and work on it. But now things are more advanced. We have containerization containers which can actually create an isolated environment within the same machine, okay, by sharing the resources. So we can learn about differences between virtual machines and containers. Okay. And then for Kubernetes, we can start with a cluster called Minikube, which you can easily create on your own machine. Okay. uh, we don't need to jump directly to some cloud providers Kubernetes cluster. Okay, just go to your machine, create a Minikube cluster, which is just 2 or 3 instructions you have to follow, and your cluster get deployed. Follow the documentation. We have some online courses. You guys are doing a great job. You are providing some courses as well. Okay, so this will encourage them to learn, and the very important thing is hands-on. Don't just like read the document and stay as it is. Okay, always do a hands-on whatever you are learning, even if it is a basic thing, because once you do a hands-on, you will know, okay, this is the error which we got while we did that hands-on at that time. Okay, so start with the basic things and you can achieve a lot.
Agree, Sony. Since you mentioned about the hands-on practice, so
Hmm.
what role, I mean, does hands-on practice play in learning Kubernetes and DevOps? So I know you may have already mentioned, many things about like how, hands-on practice could be
Hmm.
benefited. Then,
Hmm.
what role does hands-on practice play in learning Kubernetes and DevOps tools like, Terraform, Ansible, and Jenkins? And
Hmm.
how can someone best get started with this kind of practical learning?
Okay, so let me again come back to this practical hands-on kind of things. Okay, let's take a basic example. Uh, you are, let's say, like we have some official documentation. Whenever a tool get introduced in the market, we have some documentation for that. Okay, and if you want to learn it, what we do first is we go to that official documentation site, open it, and start following the instructions and doing the things. Okay, so they will tell us about the basic things. Okay, okay, this is the product and this is how it is working, and we just start doing it. If I tell you about the hands-on thing, so let's say in Kubernetes, we did a deployment. Okay, and it gets deployed on your local machine. But let's say you are working on a project with a restricted environment, because if you are working for some clients, in that case, you won't get an open environment. It will be a restricted environment. Okay, where you don't have all kind of access to create your resources and all. So in that case, it may be possible that the file you deployed on your local machine may work on the your cluster on the client side, or on the client's environment. Okay, so until unless you do some hands-on on these things, you will not be able to see the errors, that okay, these type of errors we can face. Okay, and these type of modifications we can do in file to resolve some specific thing. So this actually happens when you work on real scenarios, when you start tricking the things. Okay, like some people are like, okay, they gave me this file, let's do some modification. Okay, I find this patch of code, let's introduce this into this file and check what happened. Okay, these type of experiments you have to do.
Okay.
This is the way like you can learn about the actual errors you face while working on real projects.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like a quite insightful thing, Sony. I mean, so we all know, with DevOps and cloud native technologies, evolving rapidly. So I
Hmm.
personally wanted to ask you, like, how do you see the future of Kubernetes and DevOps in the near future?
Oh, transition into DevOps or Kubernetes focused role. See, evolution. If I talk about the evolution, okay, so we have a great future of Kubernetes. Okay, since you can say like companies are moving towards the new technologies. Okay, towards the new tool to make their work easy. Okay, so Kubernetes is the best platform, because you can easily manage your applications over there. Okay, and it can control everything, literally everything, and if anything goes wrong, it can manage itself. Okay, also there are some tools which nowadays we built on top of Kubernetes, and there are some approaches which built on top of Kubernetes to make your work easy. I can give an example of GitOps, which is GitHub. Git plus ops is operations, which basically works on, it is basically approach which works on Kubernetes based deployment, where you just need to push your code into a repo, your Git repo, and forget about it. Everything will be done. Once you push your code, there are some tools which are working in background, which are actually deployed on your Kubernetes cluster, which will sense the changes and deploy your things on the. You don't need to do anything. So this type of easiness companies are looking right now, even in future as well. So and if I talk about the security thing, so we have a domain called DevSecOps as well. Okay, so DevSecOps, specifically you work on the security side as well. Okay, that okay, you are making your application secure. We can add this tool which will restrict these type of traffic, and you can create your own service meshes. There are some tools which provide these type of configuration to be added to your cluster. You can add some global level of policies using these tools. So DevOps is never ending, even Kubernetes. So if you are going
Absolutely.
into this direction, then like you can survive.
Absolutely. The ones who are just starting out in their career or who just starting out in the IT industry. So like
Mhm.
for those beginners, their journey in DevOps, what resources or communities would you recommend for accelerating their learning?
Okay, so first is like whoever pursuing this DevOps and Kubernetes have their like they have to set their mindset that okay, we have to keep learning things. Because if
Absolutely.
you are like that, okay, I have learned 2 3 tools and I am done, then it's it's not like how it is working. Okay, you have to keep learning new things. There are some even like you have to be updated on community side as well. Like we have some social platforms like LinkedIn, Stack Overflow, and other communities as well, where you can follow the leaders, which like who actually write some notes on the newer things which they are going to use or which they are using. Okay, so just follow the community. There are some online portals where you will get these kind of informations that okay, uh, the best is LinkedIn. Okay, if any company is doing something new, they will definitely post it on LinkedIn to boost up. Okay, that okay, this is the new thing, we are trying this is the documentation. Even the companies nowadays creating their own public documentation which general public can access and try it out. Okay, there are some online courses as well on specific DevOps, even like from very scratch. Like even if you are a beginner, they will actually tell you how to copy paste as well. Okay, so
Yeah.
you can follow those documentation online forums. Just go through it, keep up your mindset, and keep learning.
All right, Sony, thank you. And also, the one question every time, boggles my mind whenever I, take the podcast is about
Mhm.
the pay part, the salary. I mean, what, can you just tell me like what is the initial packages one can hold if somebody, goes into this particular domain?
Okay,
I mean,
see,
just the brief. Yeah,
to be very honest, there is no mark. Even if you are a fresher, even if you are a fresher and you know these latest technologies and you know how to implement it, companies are there to like hire you, and there is no bar.
absolutely. Okay.
You can easily
Fair enough.
negotiate with them, because right
Agree, agree. Yeah.
nowadays everyone wants a skilled person. Okay, if you have that skill, it doesn't matter whether you are a fresher or you are an experienced person.
Agree. That's why, Sony, I wanted to ask you, like, from what makes you like upskilling yourself? Like, what prompted you to take this particular decision of upskill yourself? Obviously, one reason might be, the one of the reason might be the salary, and what could be the other reason of, upskilling yourself?
See,
So I just
DevOps is
wanted to
very
know the
interesting.
reason
DevOps is very
about it.
interesting.
Okay.
uh, I'm telling you from my personal experience. Whenever let's say deployed, I recently worked on a new observability stack where I can easily monitor my workloads on screen. Okay, now when I completed that work, I came to know that okay, there is one more tool which we can do, like which can do the same task. Okay, but it is very easy to configure that tool rather than using that older one. So I tried it out. I got one error. Okay, I resolved it. I got
Yeah,
another. So these errors, that oh, I want to resolve this. I want to get this thing
absolutely.
reliable. So this eagerness, and it is, I'm saying, like it is very interesting to work on a new tool. You'll get to know these things. Like when you start working on it, you'll get to know these things. Like okay, now you have to pick this one. We have to pick this one. Instead of wasting your time by visiting multiple websites or multiple not websites, but actually like if you are on a cloud environment, then uh, let's say if your workload is deployed on your in AWS, okay, and you want to get some logs of and some application, then you have to go to CloudWatch and check the logs, and if there is something else, then use the other service, event based service. Instead of using all of them, create your own framework. There are n number of tools available in market. Create your own framework, and then in one click you'll get everything, literally everything, and you'll be amazed to see those visualized dashboards on your screen. It will give you a different feeling.
Absolutely. I can like vouch for that, of course. Like, once if the one like you, like, the one who upskills himself or herself,
Hmm.
absolutely is into, it's different from the persons who are not like skilled enough and
Hmm.
also has got the, the next level confidence in them, to do certain things which earlier they were not able to do it.
Hmm.
Absolutely agree with that. So on that note, like finally, like what advice would you give to IT professionals and seeking
Hmm.
to transition into DevOps or Kubernetes focused roles like in this today's technical landscape?
Okay, like
So just one piece of
transition.
advice.
Yeah. So transitioning into DevOps or Kubernetes focused role can be a rewarding move first. Okay, but it requires a strategic approach. Okay, so
Absolutely.
how you can do is first, I already mentioned about it, embrace a learning mindset. Okay, second is like gain some hands-on experience. Practical skills are crucial in this field. Set up your own lab environment where you can expertise with Kubernetes, Docker, CI/CD. Utilize cloud platform that offers you free tiers, because like you can create accounts on these cloud platforms, and they will provide you some free credits for your initial usage. Okay, so work on them. Next is like networking is another vital component. Okay, connect with your professionals who are on already on these fields. Okay, you can connect with them via LinkedIn, or there are some social meetups which company organize. Okay, social and online meetups. So you can even go to their place where they are actually organizing those meetups, and even they, if they have it online, you can get the links, you can register yourself and learn about them. Okay, next is like you can consider obtaining relevant certifications, because if you are certified in some domain, then consider yourself to be passed. Like filter yourself, like companies filter people who are certified. Okay, this is how IT works. If you are certified person, even on LinkedIn these kind of filters work, that okay, this is the requirement, we need a certified guy. So what people used to do is go to LinkedIn, filter on these certification basis. Okay, I want to get some guys who are CK certified, so they will get a list, because these certifications are proof that you are skilled on that specific technology.
Absolutely.
So, just in summary, by embracing a learning mindset, going hands-on experience, networking, owning your collaboration skills, obtaining certificates, and maintaining patience. This patience kind of thing, like transitioning to a new role may take some time, so you have to be patient. It's
Absolutely.
not like you started today and you are expecting that after 3 months I'll be huge. So so just
Absolutely.
keep some patience as well.
That's wrap up today's episode for the Career Catalyst. A huge thank you to you, Sony, for sharing such valuable insights into the world of Kubernetes, DevOps, and the skills that are shaping today's technical landscape. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay. And we hope our viewers gained a lot of inspiration and practical advice from that. Whether someone
Definitely.
is starting out in the yeah,
Hmm.
whether someone is starting out in the industry or maybe wanted to deepen their expertise in this particular field. So it was such a valuable insight, Sony. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time and thanks for the patience, for waiting for so long. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kirtika, for having me here.
Thank you. So,
Okay.
okay, viewers, for the viewers, if you have enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Networkings to get the better insights related to the career advancement and to have a more expert interview and tech career tips. And also feel free to comment below if you have any questions for our guest or suggestions for the future topics. We would love to hear from you all. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time on the same show with different guests and a topic of your choice. Have a good day. Thank you, Sony, for being here.